Thank you for tuning in to LRSD TV. I'm Kayla Naive. We are here at We are here at the Investors Group Athletic Center here in front of the fans. Today's game is sponsored by Boston Pizza.
Broadcasting today's game is the Riel Division Broadcast Media Program.
Enjoy the game.
Tonight, the Dakota Lancers take on the Vincent Massey Trojans for high school volleyball supremacy. Both these teams are coming off big wins from last Thursday, where the Trojans defeated the River East Kodiaks in a competitive yet dominant 3-0 semifinal sweep. All three sets were fairly close, but the Trojans were able to come out on top and take the first spot in the championship match. The Lancers were also able to defeat their opponent, the Glenlawn Lions, in the same fashion with a 3-0 sweep. The Lancers looked dominant in the first set, but the second and third set were very, very close as the Lions cleaned up some mistakes and were able to keep up with Dakota. Coming down to the wire, the Lancers were able to take down the Lions and will advance to the championship match against the Vincent Massey Trojans. This matchup is sure to be a good one, with the Trojans being ranked 1 and the Lancers being right behind them at rank 2. You're watching the Boston Pizza Provincial AAA Varsity Championships live on LRSD TV.
Well, good evening, everybody. Hello, Adam. We're coming to you live once again from the Athletic Group Athletic Center in Game 2 of the Provincials of the Boston Pizza 2023 4A Provincial Championships. We just saw an excellent match in the first of the two with the varsity girls, and here we have the number 1 ranked Vincent Massey Trojans and the number 2 ranked Dakota Lancers. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to see here, Adam.
This is going to be a very entertaining matchup, Cam, as these are two physical teams in the province that will be matching up for this 4A provincial final. And these are two teams from different conferences, but they were the winners of their respective conferences. As the Vincent Massey Trojans, they've pieced together an undefeated season so far, and they're looking to cap that off with the title. The Western Winnipeg Athletic Conference champions come in with the top 3 ranked players in the Winnipeg Free Press poll, all on their one side. So they are an incredibly impressive team, a very difficult team to match up against. However, on the flip side, they've got the Dakota Lancers, the SCAC champions themselves, and a team that has more size than any other team in the province. They've got some very large middles who are standing well above 6'4", perhaps even a 6'7", depending on the personnel they have, along with their incredible jumping ability and size of their right side, Wisdom Smith. So there's a lot of physicality going to be brought to the table here in this provincial final with a few teams that are familiar. They've squared off against one another at a few tournaments along this long journey that has gotten us here to the 4A Boys Provincial Final.
And we saw a lot of that physicality the other night in the Final Four. We saw it on display. It's been a while since we've seen that kind of height and that kind of velocity on the attack. Some great defensive plays, and no doubt we're going to see that again here tonight. Now, these coaches, both Ryan Hudson on the Dakota side and Marshall Jones on the Vincent Massey side, no stranger to this environment or this situation. Both coaches having been here as part of teams as players back in the day and now as coaches. So exciting for these two programs. And we see the stands here starting to fill with fans from both sides. We're surrounded here the other night. We were just on the one side, but it's a packed house here at Investors Group Athletic Center. And we are excited to get going tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic environment, as well as These stands here at Investors Group Athletic Center are packed. Now we're seeing a lot of green representing the Vincent Massey Trojans, whether we look ahead of us or even behind us here on the opposite side at IGAC. And on the flip side, we've got a lot of black and yellow representing the Dakota Lancers, and these are two passionate programs, schools that bring a lot of pride to these kinds of events and these kinds of sporting matchups. So we expect this to be a very entertaining game for you at home. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we can't wait for this one to kick off. But there's going to be a few kind of procedural duties that need to happen, so we're going to start by tuning in here to our left.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the boys' final of the Boston Pizza 4A Volleyball Championship. The boys' final is between the number 1 ranked Vincent Massey Trojans and the number 2 ranked Dakota Lancers. The MHSAA acknowledges that we're gathered on Treaty 1 lands, the original territories of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, Lakota, Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Red River Métis. The MHSAA proudly acknowledges our role in the many relationships that make up our home and commits to a spirit of reconciliation for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able. Gentlemen, remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem by Sarah Kalish of Grant Park High School.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Let's meet the teams. First, let's meet the Dakota Lancers. Number 1, Yaya Malik. Number 11, Hayden Angelopoulos. Number 16, Jet Bowen. Number 18, Jun Cho. Number 21, Jack Antonio. Number 22, Christopher Redmond. Number 23, Tate Olfert. And number 24, Noah Benke. Now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Dakota Lancers. Number 2, Sean Novencito. Number 3, Wisdom Smith. Number 9, Lincoln Bowen. Number 10, Leland Parento. Number 15 is Max Anderson. Number 20, Connor Granbois. Libero is number 12, Alex Serpa. Assistant coaches for the Lancers, Rob Jansen, Matt Klish, John Bartel and Alex Ronnebeck. The head coach for the Lancers, Ryan Hudson. Now, let's meet the Trojans. Number 1, Jacob Yee. Number 2, Hudson Penner. Number 4, Tyler Billick. Number 5, Magnus Carlos. Number 7, Braden Cron. Number 10, Matthew McCarthy. Number 14, Nathan Adam. Now, the starting lineup. Number 8, Keon Torres. Number 9, Everett Smith. Number 11, Morgan Eby. Number 12, Shay McKim. Number 13, Declan Vergara. Number 15, Owen Weeks. Libero number 6, Mitchell Strilchuk. Coaching staff include managers Chase Holowachuk, Ronit Dixit, Abu Epubechi Ukwi. Assistant coaches Ethan Singh, Ken Cron, Aaron Mitchell-Dewick, Tristan Maluga, and head coach is Marshall Jones. Now, let's turn the game over to our officials on lines, Ray Wong and Crystal Smith, second referee Stino Saragusa, and our head referee, Chris Chung.
Here at Investors Group Athletic Center. What would you say, Adam? We've got here 1,500, couple thousand people. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very packed barn here, and that's common for the Quad A provincial finals. Boys and girls for sure pull out quite the crowd to each and every year, and it's just wonderful that these athletes get to showcase their skill in front of their school communities, their family, their friends, and of course those of you tuning in on LRSD TV looking to catch some fantastic quality volleyball here on a Monday night.
Sean Novincito here on Dakota is going to start it up for us here tonight. And we're off. Outside set to Owen Weeks. Big shot from the big guy on the left side here. Yeah, Weeks with the first kill of the night. The first point is Vincent Massey.
You can tell that was a design play. They leave Weeks inside knowing that he's got the undersized matchup there of Novincito. Good set there from them.
Dakota goes to the middle to start Max Anderson. He registers his first play, kill, and point of the evening.
That's where Dakota's going to find a lot of success tonight, is in their middle. They've got a lot of talent and a lot of size out of the middle of the court for them, both attacking and blocking. Getting Anderson involved early is a good start.
Good, and he gives off a good serve. We noticed that in the Final Four. He comes at that service line with authority and gives a tough float serve. So 2-1, Dakota out to a very early lead. This could be a long night, as we saw in the first match of the evening. Right side to Owen Weeks again, and he's off the block. Kill number 2 for Weeks.
Good pass there from Strilchuk. He got beat on his kind of forearm platform, but he elects to step up on his second try at Max Anderson's serve, and a much better result there, getting it high in the air for Torres to take it from there.
Handled well on Dakota side, outside now. It's going to be a Dakota point. Everett Smith, sorry, that was Lincoln Bowen, wrong team. Lincoln Bowen with that attack, 3-2. Middle set, up and handled. And that's the first look that we've had of Wisdom Smith coming up and asserting his presence. We saw a lot of him in the semifinal versus Glenlawn. This is going to be a high-flying match here tonight, no doubt. Leland Parento back to serve now. Tactical serves at position 5. And Weeks is way up on that one, line shot. That's going to be very difficult to stop. It's going to be interesting to see if we see some switching on the Dakota side. If the serving doesn't put them in a position, Massey in a position where they're out of system at all, that's going to be tough to stop.
Definitely, and Dakota, they're an undersized team on the left side compared to most, so it's a matchup that they're going to want to look to more often, but it's Lincoln Bowen rising up and using the block to his advantage for his own right. That's a great swing off the outside hand of Declan Vergara.
And that opportunity presents itself because of the first contact. We've talked a lot about that. Alex Serpa stepping in there and making a perfect pass to give that opportunity. Shea McKim just hits that out. I think he had his shoulders above the net there. He's getting way up, and we saw him have a big night in the semifinal match there. He had an excellent performance. He'll want to follow that up here tonight. What a play, what a play. Lots of fun there. Oh, they can't quite turn it around. Everett Smith, soccer style there, put the ball over, but Grandbois was not ready to accept that was going to be a Vincent Massey point.
Yeah, remarkable play there. Just what the referees would coin as a spectacular play. Let that one go, see what happens.
Service is long. Vincent Massey's going to want to chip away at this lead here, no doubt, but both teams settling into this match. Deep serve to position 5. Another good pass by Serpa. Outside set to Jet Bowen, but that ball is blocked, so that's a Vincent Massey point.
Yeah, great block there by Keon Torres. Now that's something we saw him do a lot in that semifinal as well, Cam, was pick up those solo blocks, and he's just so aggressive when he's up there blocking. He does a lot with his hands and can really penetrate the net well.
Little attack by Grandbois is dug up. Everett Smith getting up high there, hitting that ball with a lot of velocity for a Trojans point.
That's going to be a difficult matchup there for both of the Massey left sides, whether it's Smith or Vergara, as they've got Wisdom Smith and some sizable middles out of Dakota, but that's just a very mature shot as Smith swings deep into the floor.
Good set selection there. We could hear from where we are. We could hear Grandbois calling for that 30, creating a little bit of separation, and Wisdom Smith scoring on the right side. Tate Olfer coming in to serve. He came in regularly in the semifinal. We'll be doing the same here tonight. Good serve to position 1. Massey's going to give over a free ball. Big dig off of Wisdom Smith attack. And that's going to land their creative point. Everett Smith just turns a little tip over the block into a point for Vincent Massey.
And that chance is all generated by that dig of Owen Weeks. Now that's someone we're going to talk a lot about from the offensive side, but he's not a one-trick pony. He can do a lot of good things for that Trojans team, including some defensive prowess there.
31. And there we see some more defense from Vincent Massey off a good Max Anderson attack. Oh, and a smart play by the setter, Leland Parento. That ball was going over. It looked like he was going to play it, but he pulled his hand down and it lands on the Trojan side. We talked about that in the girls' match. The same sort of thing occurred. He was a back row, so would not have been able to play that ball. Makes a good play. Try the quicker C ball there to Wisdom Smith, but unable to execute. That ball goes in the net.
Now Wisdom Smith standing at 6'7". He's also a very impressive vertical jumper. Now that's an athlete that you have to just get that ball in the air and let him go get it. The timing is really not as important. You just have to utilize his athletic ability.
Dakota goes to force the middle there. That pass was out at the antenna. Good job to try and keep those blockers honest and set the middle. That appears to be a bit of a tactic here early on. Not quite able to execute. Serpa with another good pass. Ball is set outside that time to Jet Bowen, which is a good attack for a point.
And a great set selection there from Parento, as he knows that the middle is going to draw a lot of attention, and he holds Morgan Eby of the Trojans, releasing that to Bowen. Great set selection.
Outside to Weeks. Weeks is way up high once again with the kill.
That's one of those matchups that I can expect Massey to continue to go to. Now, obviously, there's certain aspects. You need to establish your middle. You want to get all attacking options involved to get some momentum. But ultimately, you just need to go to the best matchup. And when that's Weeks versus Parento, you got to give him that ball.
Yeah. Over bump here. Vergara makes good on that one on the over bump. Point Massey. That puts him ahead by one.
Dakota was rock solid from the serve receive to start this set. Last 5 or so points, a little bit shakier. We'll see if they can sort of settle down here. We see Serpa, he's taking up a lot of court in the back row.
Free ball put over in a good spot. Outside to Vergara, who tries the little beach shot. Tips it into the net, however, so this is going to be a Dakota side out. Max Anderson's going to go by. Anderson back to serve now. Deep to position 5. In the middle there, good set selection. Morgan Eby with his first kill of the evening.
Eby's not someone that we're going to see get a lot of volume offensively, but he does so many good things away from his offense. He's a solid blocker, and he's an energy piece that is really important to the Trojans' success. And we're going to see him go back to the line here with a jump float.
Good pass by Serpa again. Lincoln Bowen with the attack. That's off the block, so that's going to be a Dakota point here. We're all tied up at 12 in this first set. Parento to serve. Deep to 5. Back to Weeks, who does the roll shot for the kill, and that's really tough to stop when you have someone that's getting that high, hitting with that velocity, and then decides to switch it up like that. Catches defense back on their heels.
Great pursuit from the Lancers as well, as there was a trio of backcourt players hitting the ground trying to pick that ball up, but as you mentioned, Cam, just too much court given up.
Kind of a float serve there. I don't know if that was by design or not. Now back row to Weeks. Just out.
Yeah, that didn't miss by much, and that's a shot that we know Weeks is capable of hitting. Perhaps hoping for a little bit more of the block up on that one, but evades the hands, and it's 13 apiece here early in this match.
Middle shot. Shea McKim is up high and able to score on that one. So we talked about McKim and his performance the other night. Part of an overall, a pretty equal distribution of kills, actually. When you look at that match, we've talked a lot about Weeks here tonight, but all of Vincent Massey's attackers walked away last game between 9 and 11 kills each, which was credit to their setter, Keon Torres. And a solo block by Grandbois.
Fantastic timing there, and typically the blocking sequence is an all or nothing kind of job where you decide to have both your blockers up or none of them, but Grandbois, he just decides to own the net himself, and he's such a big physical force at the net that he's capable of making plays like that for the Lancers.
Tate Olfert back in to serve outside. And Everett Smith elevates and hits that one cross court for the kill.
That's a beautiful angle there from Everett Smith, and he's one of those players who is very capable of hitting a variety of shots, and that sharp cross-court angle is going to open up a lot of court for him with other options as this match continues.
Little spin serve there. Another middle set to Max Anderson. Vergara makes an admirable swipe at the ball there. I think he might have actually had more of an opportunity. He was so fast getting there, but tough play, and that's going to be going back to the Dakota side. We're all tied up at 15 here. Smith with the serve to 5. And Morgan Eby with a statement attack there out of the middle. So we've seen both teams do a little bit more middle attack as of late.
Yeah, just a beautiful set location there for Torres as Eby, he's doing his job. He's up early, he's an option, and Torres sees him in the air ready for that ball and just distributes it beautifully.
A little bit of a misfire there with Bowen in the back row. Puts over a free ball, and that time, that ball got away from Owen a little bit, sailed way out the back.
Yeah, that can definitely happen for outside attackers when you know it's a transition play, you know you're going to have a couple blockers at least in front of you. Sometimes you just get ahead of the ball with your arm swing.
Good serve. Over bump, point Dakota.
Yeah, this Lancer side, they look calm right now, Cam. Not a lot of ups and downs for them. They seem pretty consistent with their emotion level, and I think that could bode well for them if they can maintain that, as they've scraped their way to a 1-point lead so far.
Powerful serve. And a block. Bowen. Free ball put over. Outside to Lincoln Bowen here, creating trouble. He's going to get a free ball back again. C ball to Wisdom Smith, tips it over. And this time, Dakota has the answer for Owen Weeks as they turn a block.
Yeah, just that can happen sometimes as an attacker. You see an undersized block in front of you and you get a little bit too greedy. You think you have more of that downward trajectory than you really do, and sometimes you can get ahead of yourself, and we saw that there with a little bit of
reach on that shot. Just mishit out of the back row, so we're going to side out now. Vincent Massey Trojans. Going back to serve, it's number 9, Everett Smith, as his team trails by 1 in this first set. Little float to spin hybrid C ball to Wisdom Smith, hits it out the back, misses on the line shot.
Just too many errors now compiling for the Dakota Lancers, as they played a really clean brand of volleyball so far in this set, and that is what's kept them in this one. That's what's kept it close and what's allowed them to lead for a good portion of this match. Now, the Trojans, they're not a team you can let off the hook with too many mistakes, and they're going to find a mistake of their own there with Everett Smith's serve finding a little bit too long here at Investors Group Athletic Center.
Max Anderson now is going to try and extend this lead. He's been putting over an aggressive flat serve here, so let's see what he has in store. This time he takes a bit off of it. Goes back set to Owen Weeks.
Beautiful.
The middle of the court on that one.
Yeah, beautiful line shot there from Weeks, as that set was left a little bit inside, but he recognizes that Dakota block adjusting with it, and he just elects to shred that down the line. Fantastic vision there from the grade 12 right side attacker.
Good serve by Morgan Eby. Dakota goes middle to Grandbois. Doesn't get all of it, hits the top of the tape, but sometimes that can be helpful, and we saw that on that occasion there.
Great serve receive once again from the Lancers. They seem incredibly efficient in the backcourt, not letting anything really get them too far out of system. And if you can win the serve receive battle, you're always going to have a chance in sets.
Strickland with a good pass. Outside, Vergara looking for the top of the block. We have a touch called by the down official, but overruled. It's going to be another Dakota serve. Coach Marshall Jones is probably going to ask him, if the line judge is calling it, why is he? But the up official does, in fact, he's the highest. He's up there, and he's got the best view that's happening right in front of him.
It doesn't hurt to ask that question for sure. That's what the captain is on the floor to do. And if anything, it slows down the momentum of the Dakota Lancers just that little bit as Parenteau thinks about his serve a little longer.
I think there was more of that than anything else. Back set to Weeks. And that one is inside the attack line from the right side. So that's going to be a tough one to stop.
Yeah, and you can see Lincoln Bowen, he just kind of shrugs that one off. He knows that that's a player who's going to earn big points for his team, and it really does equate to just 1 point. It's the same as anything else, and it's going to be the same as him following it up with a service ace. Just a nice little kind of change-up serve from Owen Weeks.
All tied up here at 21 in this first set. And he finds the back line again to the left of Alex Serpa. And those are the swings that we saw in the first match. And now we see them here again. So good serving, passing, the keys as they always are. We've talked about that in every match so far. And there we see an example of good serving, changing the tide for the Vincent Massey Trojans.
Good timeout here by Coach Ryan Hudson with the Lancers as we'll kind of tune into that timeout here.
Yeah, a little bit of a reset, and both teams, you've mentioned it, have the composure, and they've played each other. They've been in these games before. I think it's a really good point that you brought up, Adam, just about the nature of, and we can see it's not just Owen Weeks there that's capable of that high-flying attack, but in that last sequences, it was in fact him. And it is just 1 point, although those are big momentum points and can be very motivating for your side and deflating on the other. They understand, though, that, like you said, it is just 1 point, and it is a next point mentality that has to happen here. And a first pass. Let's see what Weeks can do on his serve here. He delivers, good pass by Serpa, however, outside to Wisdom Smith. He's blocked. Bowen on the right side, so Dakota gets the ball back and ties it all up in the process.
Yeah, exactly the break they needed there to get out of that rotation, and this is a bit of a sticky one for Massey as Torres is caught front row.
Is able to save that ball. They're going to get a free ball back. Goes outside to Vergara, but the ball is out. So the lead switches hands once again, 23-22.
That's the right selection there from Vergara. That's a very tight set, really nowhere else to go with that. I think he just narrowly missed the block of Wisdom Smith.
Weeks out of the back row. Good sit, lots of lead on that ball, lots of height though as well, and it's all tied up.
That's the matchup you have to go to as Dakota. They've got Sean Novencito in the front row, an undersized blocker, and despite Weeks being in the back row, that's the blocking lane you have to go to, and we know Weeks is more than capable of scoring. Just good set selection and good volleyball IQ there from his setter Keon Torres to give him that opportunity.
31 in the middle. Grandbois hits back to position 1. Nobody home on defense, so that's going to be a Dakota point. And they now lead by 1 point with a chance to swing here, serve for this first set. Shea McKim in the front row with Everett Smith, so we'll see where he elects to go. Timeout being called. They're going to talk it over here and set up some defense.
Quite the swing, as just a few points ago, the Trojans led 22-21, and now it's the Lancers beating them in the race to this first set point opportunity. It's been a great start to this match here, Cam.
Yep.
Lots of physicality as we kind of anticipated, but the ball control has been something that's been shining through, especially for the Dakota side. They gave up one little run there to Weeks, sort of once we got into the 20s, but it's been a great response outside of that by the Dakota Lancers to keep the ball in play and allow Leland Parenteau to run his offense effectively, and he has done just that. Now, we were praising the Vincent Massey Trojans for their semifinal set distribution with many players scoring well or close to double digits. I think the Dakota Lancers are on pace for that right now themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. They're doing a good job of that, and that's been critical to them hanging around here, and that composure piece. And Dakota, often I find their teams are like that. They kind of are successful and win by committee. You know, they all have jobs. They're maybe not the most oversized team, although they do have some size. With Max Anderson is not a small guy, Wisdom Smith not a small guy, but comparatively, you know, they have to do it in other ways against this particular team, and they're finding a way now at 24-23 to get it done. And let's see what happens on possible set. Big hit outside by Smith, and Dakota is swinging. There's no touch on that attack. So Vincent Massey will side out. Going back to serve now is Shea McKim. He's going to look to put his team up in the advantage situation. And we're already once again in extra points. Serve to position 4 in the middle. And Max Anderson delivers.
Such an impressive set there from Leland Parenteau, as that pass is less than perfect. It's low and off the net, but he still gets himself in position to run his middle option. And that's just the perfect place to go in that rotation.
And that pass was right where Keon Torres wanted it. And he takes matters into his own hands, scoring that point for Vincent Massey.
Fantastic pass there by Tyler Billick, the substitute in the back row. That's a clutch play, getting the opportunity for Torres to be a weapon at the net.
See another middle attack by Anderson, but that's dug in the back row. Weeks goes up. Big attack to give the Trojans a 1-point advantage.
Great defensive read there from Lincoln Bowen, but that one just too much power, sliding off of the platform. And just like that, the Trojans have flipped the script for a set point opportunity of their own.
Well, as advertised here, we know that this is going to be another close game.
So good arm swing tip if it's not a great set. Oh, I can't have a swing there. Okay? Just boom it. All you have to do is hit it a little bit different angle and it's done.
Teams heading back out to the court now. Instructions, and right now it's just little reminders and perspective, I think, right here. (26-25), Vincent Massey leads in this first set.
One of those tricky rotations for the Dakota Lancers here, as Parenteau's in the front row with Anderson and Bowen. We'll see where they elect to go here.
Back to serve, puts in a good serve. Parenteau meets Weeks over the net, able to defend there. He goes back row to Smith. Nice dig. Fortunately, ball handling error there. 26 all, and I don't know that Wisdom Smith was expecting that set, but he did a good job of getting ready to hit, even though he wasn't loading up and putting over a tough spin ball deep in the court and giving them a shot.
We're
to
going
go
to
up by one.
We're going to see a substitute, Chris Redmond, checking in for Leland Parento, and this is strictly a blocking sub that brings them a 6'7" option into the front row to block. As Dakota just wants to double check their rotation to ensure that they have the correct server going back. And
so now, Adam, if you're setting for Vincent Massey, how do you interpret this? Do you go for it and say, hey, Owen's our big guy, or do you know what they're doing and set it back to Everett Smith, who's also an excellent attack option, or do you just go in the middle?
If I'm Massey, I go to my number one option, and here he is, Owen Weeks, burying that ball into the seam between Redmond and Anderson. That's exactly what Dakota drew up to stop. But the number one player in the province goes out there and proves himself a little bit too strong for that one.
Yeah, and you're right, and he did hit that tight over the net, but he found that seam perfectly and went out with a lot of confidence.
I like that decision from Ryan Hudson. You got to give it a
try.
try. All you need is 1 point to really give yourself a good advantage, and it doesn't work out, no harm, no foul. They continue to try and earn and extend this match as the Trojans now leading 27-26.
Little spin serve. Serpa takes that middle of the court pass outside to Bowen. Weeks is going to put over a free ball outside again. And that is the 28th point on the block, 28-26. The first set goes to the Vincent Massey Trojans.
Huge block there by Owen Weeks, picking up that set win for his team, and that's what you rely on your number one option to do, is to score points for you at big moments. And for the most part, it's his attack, but he is more than capable of earning on the block side too, as we see him clinching that first set for the Trojans. What an entertaining first one. A little bit of extra for us there too.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're happy that you can join us here on LRSD TV and the broadcast of the Boston Pizza 2023 4A Provincial Championship. And we got a few sponsors we want to recognize here. In addition to our title sponsor of Boston Pizza, also partnerships with Sport Manitoba, Manitoba's credit unions, the Canadian Armed Forces, Luscious Orange, Huddle, Manitoba Dairy Farmers, Manitoba Hydro, and Mikasa Canada, who make this all possible to put on such a great high-level championship. And it's excellent to see here, Adam, tonight, lots of student participation. We got a whole floor of people out there serving at pizza boxes. And again, a big thank you to our title sponsor, Boston Pizza, and they've been the title sponsor of this for many years, as long as I can remember.
Yeah, they do a great job supporting amateur sport across this province in many different facets, but this 4A Provincial Championship has been a Boston Pizza special for as long as I can remember, for sure. And I remember playing in a provincial final years ago and just seeing these people with the ball in their hand serving at pizza boxes back then. So it's one of those things you look forward to as a fan and as a spectator coming out to this provincial championship.
Well, and they're going to clear the court here as the teams get prepared to go back.
Point back there was Kate going in the front row. Kate was gonna have to, yeah, but Max was about to serve still, so it would have had to get to like 30 for that to happen. Sometimes you just gotta go with hoping to win in a moment.
I'm just gonna chill a little bit. I can probably help in the middle and still get out.
Okay. That was good. We gotta be positive about that. We had a chance to win. We get that set point. We get another set point. We finish it off. Hey, we're good. Keep going.
Make a run at this second set.
And to that point, Cam, Dakota did lead for a good portion of that set, and they did control the pace, especially until about 15 or 16 points in that set. So they don't have to press the panic button by any stretch of the imagination. They can definitely be comfortable and confident in their game plan, in their ability to come out here and compete with the number one team in the province. And that's something that I think they can take away from the first set and try and piggyback on as they exit the timeout here in between sets, looking to change the tide in the second and extend this match that little extra.
I don't like that. We're going to get close every set until we don't get stuck. First ball.
Well, no more time on the clock. The Lancers are making their way onto the court. Massey making their way here momentarily, and we will be on our way in this second set of the Boston Pizza 2023 4A Provincial Champions. And if you did miss our first match of the evening, it was the Steinbach Sabres emerging victorious versus the Lord Selkirk Royals. It was an excellent match, a 5-setter. It was a thriller, and it was a packed house here, and back and forth. Lots of extra innings in that game as well.
Yeah, as we look back, the semifinals between these two teams, the boys 4A semifinals, Vincent Massey won 2 of their 3 straight sets just by 2 points, as did the Lancers. So we are not surprised to see the first one be won by 2 points, and we'll see if the second set follows suit, as it's Max Anderson earning the first point for the Dakota Lancers on a great middle connection with his setter, Leland Parenteau.
So Dakota first to strike, and Anderson will go back to serve for the Lancers. Deep serve to position 5, handled well by Vergara, and that is going to be an Everett Smith right side attack for a Vincent Massey point.
Great set selection there once again from Torres. As so much attention is drawn to Weeks. We saw the middle of Grandbois pinching over to him on that left side attempt, opening up so much court for Everett Smith to score.
Smith now serving, a bit of a tight pass. Parenteau dumps the ball and scores a point.
Good selection from him. I'm not sure if he had any other option, to be honest, that it seemed to be too tight to really climb the ladder and distribute to an attacker, but catches the hands down on the Trojan side.
And he'll go back to serve now. Pops a short serve. Strickland handles that no problem. And out of the back row, Serpa with a big dig. Mid-court dig on a pipe. And Grandbois, along with Lincoln Bowen, get that block, but that point sure was scored on the block, but it started with a big Alex Serpa dig in the back row.
Yeah, just stepping up into the court. He's putting his body on the line to pick up that dig, and he's rewarded. You love to see that libero intensity in the back court.
Against the green, and Owen Weeks finds, he was looking for a touch, but I think that found the back court anyway, so Vincent Massey will go back to serve. Now it's number 11, Morgan Eby, to serve. Good pass by Dakota. Grandbois hits the position 1 there. He actually rotated in the air, and I'm wondering if he would have just stayed with his position, original position 5 attack, if he might have been successful, but a great block as well on the Vincent Massey side. Another strong serve resulting in a over bump and an opportunity for Massey there. Good dig by Serpa once again. Good set by Smith, reaches outside, and that ball is blocked. Lincoln Bowen was trying to tip it off the block to be able to play it again, but too much there on the Vergara block.
Good,
and that's another point.
Solid hands there from Vergara, and that can happen sometimes when you see a tip come your way. It's just a quick shot off the hands. It's tough as a blocker to get yourself established, but he does a great job being on time.
Bowen with the hit over there, hits the top of the tape. Looking for some touch there, but none to be found. He's got a smile on his face. He knew what he was going for and what he needed, but he didn't have the hands there to touch the top of them for a point.
And you love to see the support from his teammates. They laugh along with him. There's no pressure on him. just as easy you can pick up a point off a missed serve, and that's exactly what happens, and all of a sudden Vergara's error is all forgotten.
So Adam, in looking at the hitting efficiencies of these two teams in the Final Four, everybody was over 350, and in a lot of cases 500, which is a very high hitting efficiency when it comes to the attack.
Yeah, those are impressive numbers, and I think we're seeing a little bit more block defense being played here in the final. Maybe won't be as easy to put together a above 350 attacking night, but you never know. This match is young. It's only 5-5 here in the second set, and these athletes are only going to begin to feel more comfortable and swing a little bit more as this match progresses.
Tate Olford subbed in, going back to serve again, and he serves position 6. Shea McKim able to convert on that hit, finds the block, but goes between the hands and the net, so Vincent Massey will score that point. Both teams kind of trading shots here with a missed serve thrown in there, each having one of those. Vergara will go back and try and build the Trojan lead here. Serpa once again with a good pass, bit of a low set, so Vincent Massey's going to recoup with Weeks coming out of the back row, and that attack is out.
Another broken play set there from Strilchuk. Fantastic location, great ball out there to Weeks, and he kind of slaps his hands together after that error. He knows that that's as good as they come when your setter gets taken out on the dig.
Another broken play opportunity there. Everett Smith goes for the deep hit off the hands are in, but misses out the back. So Dakota scores their 7th point of the second set. And he, number 9, he is able to power through the top of the tape there. Everett Smith able to score on the left side.
Yeah, he's taken advantage of that blocking assignment with Leland Parenteau in front of him there. Wisdom Smith are in the right spot. He almost scooped that ball up, but Massey corrects themselves after a few hitting errors. They finally pick up that kill.
Set in the middle to Max Anderson, but he's not able to convert. So although this score is, we're hanging around here, 7-8, it's a 1-point swing there and there. Not seeing the same energy maybe that we would have seen in the semifinal on the Dakota side when they played against Glenlawn. As that service finds the back line. Now that might not be a terrible thing either. We've talked about the composure piece and being able to stay in the game and not get too rattled, which is what they've been able to do here. So they're going to want to side out on this, keep it within a 1-point game. Back set to Smith. Off of the block, still in play. Mishandled a bit in the back row by Lincoln Bowen there, so Vincent Massey continues. Coach Hudson's going to call the timeout.
Yeah, just a few too many execution errors there for Dakota. They got some good looks, some good opportunities to dig in transition, but just not finding it. Couple too many errors back to back, and Coach Hudson just needs to slow things down and discuss that with his team.
Yeah, and important to do that at this stage when it's early on in this second set. But as you are playing against a team that is so used to winning, this is an undefeated team. You don't want to have them feeling too comfy, as we've talked about on a number of occasions. Really important to keep the pressure on and make them play with a little bit of adversity in front of them or having to respond instead of being completely in their comfort zone all the time.
Absolutely, and we expect a push back here from the Lancers after this timeout, as we saw them do very well in that first set. And this is a very talented team. We do have to give them credit where credit is due. They're the second-ranked team in the province. They won their semifinal in straight sets as well, so a lot of resiliency and a lot of skill on the Dakota side, and that's piggybacked with a coach in Ryan Hudson who has a lot of coaching experience in his short tenure with the Dakota Lancers, but he obviously piggybacks off of his father, Phil Hudson, who was at the helm of the Dakota Lancers boys program for a few decades back in the day. So a lot of knowledge in that Hudson family. all of it benefiting with the Dakota Lancers program.
Shea McKim now back to serve again, and he puts a float to position 5 in system. Another big block by Keon Torres. Jet Bowen will give a free ball over. Maybe a little overzealous in the middle. Morgan Eby there hits it into the net. So coming out of that timeout, Dakota is going to side out. Bowen back to serve now. He's going to chip away at this lead. That serve goes into the net, actually goes into the back of the player at the front of the net.
Just not the toss Jet Bowen was looking for. A little bit too far out in front of himself. He couldn't quite catch up to it.
Outside, big cover dig by Alex Serpa on that block. Goes back to Weeks. And a big block. Max Anderson able to put the hands up in front of Owen Weeks on the right side there, and that's going to be a Dakota point.
And that's a big momentum point for the Lancers as well, Cam, as shutting down the number one option for the opposing team always brings a little bit more confidence and appeal to your side of the court. We'll see if they can piggyback on that play, as it's the one who just picked up the block. Max Anderson back to serve.
Now, having said that, we have seen Weeks respond. This time they decided to go on the right side. Smart play there by Everett Smith, so that's off the block and out. Good play. As we talk about father-son combos, Everett Smith is his dad Eric played volleyball here at the U of M. Was a great player here. Outside now. Good job by Bowen to keep that in play. That set was a little outside of the antenna, but he scores.
Yeah, and we saw Weeks pull his hands down there at the net, not wanting to get used at the block. It looks like Coach Marshall Jones wants to have that discussion with him, maybe telling him, just be big. Just do what you do best, which is jump out the gym and earn points.
Yeah, we'll take care of the other parts. Takes a little bit of velocity off that one. Little beach shot, hits the top of the block.
Dakota collectively a little bit frustrated with that, but it's very difficult to locate that ball when you're at the net. And Lincoln Bowen, he wasn't even the one who touched that ball, so you really lose track of where it is when you didn't even come in contact with it.
Eby back to serve again. Puts in the deep serve, just out the back to position 5. That's going to give just enough room to the Dakota Lancers to hang around here and believe that they can do it, which they can. They've showed it. Into the middle, blocked by Grandbois. That ball was going out, but just catches Vergara a little bit by surprise and touches him on the way out.
It's one of those plays where if you're Declan Vergara, you've got nowhere else to go in reality. You have to approach as if you're getting set the ball, and when it comes off the block so quickly, unless he's going to stop, drop, and roll in a heartbeat, there's really nowhere else for him to go.
That's right. Number 16, Jet Bowen back in the game. As he gets all of that block. And that time, Owen Weeks scores the point, goes up to 30, but on that first ball that was set on the right side, Jet Bowen got up high and was able to meet the challenge there, but Owen Weeks on the second go-around scores and is now back to serve. His team up by 2 here in the second set, 14-12. Good spin serve, but handled well by Serpa. You see the attack. Free ball coming to Dakota, well placed. We've had a few free balls now, coming back row. And that ball is in. Well, you're only going to get so many opportunities to give a free ball over to either one of these two teams before it's going to come back at you like that. And in that instance, it was the set to Owen Weeks. The Trojans are now up by 3. Floats out the back, and I'm not sure if he's doing a hybrid float on that or if it's a mishit, but it can be definitely effective when it's coming into the back court like that, but that time it's just a few feet out the back.
He certainly has that hybrid option in his bag. He has gone to that throughout this season, kind of changing up the pace and look. Unfortunately, he just hasn't been able to find that rhythm when he elects to change it to the float serve, but Tate Olfert matches his miss with a miss of his own, and that maintains this Trojan 3-point lead, 16-13 here, midway through the second set.
Vergara serves at the position 5 outside. And Parenteau able to get a 1-on-0 almost in that situation, so a great example of how to get the job done as a setter right there. Starts with a good pass. Dakota point. Nice serve by Wisdom Smith. Just brushes the top of the tape. Free ball coming over, put short. Dion Torres, they're having a little fun. He wanted to take a swing, and he does, but it just goes out the side by a couple of feet.
It's an ambitious play for a right-handed setter. You really got to contort your body to keep that ball in play, but no matter, as it's followed up with an error from Wisdom Smith at the service line. That's going to put Shea McKim back to serve with a bit of a hybrid option of his own. We've seen him turn a little topspin on this ball. We've seen him drop it in short.
Good serve. Deep serve. Wisdom Smith is up, and that ball just about dug, but goes the distance of the court. That tells you just how much velocity Wisdom Smith hit with on that particular attack, and his team comes within 1 now.
Wisdom Smith is one of those attackers that doesn't really hit the ball with a lot of true topspin. It comes at you almost flat like a float serve. Makes it very difficult to contain on the attack side. And speaking of containment, it's Max Anderson wrapping up the middle attack of Morgan Eby. Fantastic read block there from the Dakota Lancer in the middle.
And that was a one-on-one situation there. Those are big plays that can turn the tides for your team as he goes outside. Parenteau, you can see in his face there, he wants that one back, but Everett Smith getting the job done on the left side for the Vincent Massey Trojans.
Yeah, good timing there from Parenteau. He's just a fraction of a second late to get his right hand over the net on time, but kudos goes to Everett Smith with the quick arm. He doesn't allow the block to get established.
Torres now with the serve. Serpa on the pass. Lincoln Bowen there, we've seen it a couple of times tonight. That set gets in there a little bit too tight, and he's facing a big block. Just looking to play it back and take another swing, but that block has got a lot of height and spent some time over the net and just throws it back down onto the court. But that time he answers the call, and that is not a small block in front of you with Owen Weeks, and Lincoln Bowen goes up there and swings entirely at it and able to score cross court. Another tip and roll shot down the line from Owen Weeks.
That's just a perfectly placed ball there, Cam, as it seems to be the Dakota Lancer system to have the offside blocker go under for tips, but when it's hit to that depth, it creates a lot of trouble between the line defender and the offside blocker, and we saw Smith and Bowen almost run into each other trying to play that ball. Great spot there from Weeks.
There we see the play off of the block to get another opportunity. Owen Weeks just throws that one off of the block and out off of the block, so that'll be a Massey timeout. Sorry, Massey point, Dakota timeout. As the Vincent Massey Trojans are up in this one, 21-18 in this second set.
Guys have done a good job on the service line the last couple. Let's just run.
Hey, we got him tipping and rolling. We want him here. Okay, couple points. We're still playing great. Okay, keep it going. Okay, come on, we're fine. So right now, you're sort of reaching out and you're allowing this to happen. You got to keep your hands on the ball, or eye on the ball, and then end it with that push at the end. Okay, go get the ball and don't let him buy you. Okay, come on guys, get that side up. Right, keep playing here, let's go.
Well, 21-18 here for Vincent Massey as they are in control of this set. It has been a close set, but it doesn't seem to have the big momentum shifts, the high energy plays here. They've sort of just been hanging around, but now as we hit that 21-18, it's time to answer the call here and make a bit of a push. Good pass. Let's see if they decide to go into the middle to Grandbois. Sets an over bump. Morgan Eby with a smart choice pushes that ball along the net to position 2.
Good discipline there, as you can sometimes get a little bit carried away in those situations, especially as a young athlete, and try and do too much with a play like that. But a nice dunk of a play there by Eby.
Into the net is that serve by Everett Smith. Strong serve by Parento. Back set here to Owen Weeks. Off of the block and out.
Another fantastic swing from Weeks. Just electing to use one of the many shots he has in his repertoire as an attacker to go high off the hands.
And that ball was a little bit tight, so that having that reach and elevation certainly helps a lot. Brady Cron goes at it and just misses out the back. Another player with a some volleyball lineage, both mom and dad, Ken Cron and Jen Cron, volleyball players of U of M. Jen a bit at the U of W as well. Tight pass. No call, Dakota point here, so 23-21, 2 points.
That's a good pressure from the service line from Bowen. That's exactly what they need, as things have looked a little bit too comfortable for the Trojans offensively in this set. But some good service pressure takes them out of that rhythm.
Good read on that block by Jet Bowen and Connor Grandbois, but that ball goes off their hands and out the back.
That gives the Trojans set point here, 24-21, and they're just 1 point away from taking a commanding 2-0 stranglehold on this 4A boys final.
Good serve, but nice pass by Serpa. Wisdom Smith elevates there. He got up really high. Side out for Dakota. Let's see if they can put a little bit of a run together here. They're going to have to be perfect over these next couple of points, but they can do it.
We haven't said Wisdom Smith's name quite as much as I anticipated we would throughout the night, and that's a fantastic kill that can maybe build a bit of that confidence for him and maybe some confidence in his setter as well. They're going to need to earn a few points on defense. We'll see if Smith can be the earner in transition.
Tate Olford hopes to start it with his serve. Roll shot. And that's 25 points for the Vincent Massey Trojans, so they win that set 25-22, and like you said, that's a commanding lead in this best of 5, so they're up 2-0 in this championship match.
fantastic production from Owen Weeks. And sometimes you get a little bit ahead of yourself with expectations of players in finals and teams that have come a long way. You really expect a lot out of their main players. And I think Owen Weeks is living up to that hype tonight. He has had a ton of volume go his way offensively, but he hasn't just done that. He's served the ball incredibly well. He's earned a lot of points on the block, and he's even dug a few balls in the back row as well. So fantastic production there from their number one option. We'll see what the Dakota Lancers' response can be as their backs are against the wall now, Cam. Not a lot of room for mistakes or errors, trailing 2-0, but we have seen this happen, not just in the volleyball world, but at these 4A provincial finals just 1 year ago, actually. As the girls' final, I believe it was the Vincent Massey Trojans that led 2-0, but the Sturgeon Heights Huskies had other ideas coming back to win that match in 5 sets, winning all 3 straight.
Well, and anything can happen, and it just takes a little bit of success. One set, that's all it takes, and everything looks different. You see the Dakota Lancers coaching staff there, they're all huddled talking about what changes they want to make and what they're going to do differently here in this set. So again, thanks everybody for joining us here on LRSD TV, a production from the ATC Media and Broadcasting Program in the Riel School Division. We've got a lot of cameras, a lot of students and staff here down at the Investors Group Athletic Center. This takes a lot of people to put this on, and we are truly thankful to have the opportunity to have a broadcast of this quality. You look around the gym here, Adam, and there are cameras behind us, in front of us, all around. This is a big operation, and it's great to have it as part of a championship for a high school provincial championship. Second to none.
This is my first opportunity to do the broadcast here at the 4A Provincial Final Four and Finals, and we were talking about it in between games when we were off of the broadcast here, Cam, but the production blew my mind. The elaborate setup that it takes for these students, from switchboard all the way to camera work to microphones to being involved in these timeouts, it's bar none one of the most impressive setups, and for the fact that it's all student run, kudos to LRSD TV and the ATC and the broadcasting. Fantastic option for a lot of students, done incredibly professionally well.
Absolutely, and if that's something that interests you there, it is a program that is offered, and information can be found on our LRSD websites. Well, Adam, third set here, we have both teams heading out. One's looking to close it up and put a championship banner up on the wall. Now, we had received a text there from Larry McKay, who had told me that, in fact, the 1964 Vincent Massey Trojans were, in fact, provincial champions in that year, but that goes back further than the website, so we're off the hook on that one.
That's right. Thank you very much to the encyclopedia that is Larry McKay, able to pull that stat for us and correct us, as we were not aware that they do have that 4A provincial title under their belt, but they're looking to put another one up in a more recent era, let's say, as it's been quite some time, nearly 80 years since that's been a chance for them, and they're just one set away, but it's going to be Leland Parenteau for the Dakota Lancers with the ball in his hand. He's going to start things off for us here in this third set.
Short serve to 2, and that set is inside. And we saw that at the beginning of the first set, that little 33 set. And Weeks converts on that, but he wanted more out of it. I think he was getting a little bit excited there, but he's able to still score that point.
You always want a big play on one of those tandem runs.
Yep. Evan Smith serves that one into the net. We're all tied up here very, very early in this third set. We'll see what kind of changes there. Same personnel out on the floor for Dakota, but if they're making any kind of tactical changes, we'll see. Solo 1v1 there on the right side with Owen Weeks and Sean Novincindo, so a little bit of an advantage going to the Massey Trojan side.
A little bit.
Morgan Eby with the serve now, position 5, good serve, goes back set. Wisdom Smith once again scores with that little roll shot over the block into the pot.
Good choice there from Wisdom Smith, as that set was just a little bit far off the net. He couldn't really see the block because of it, so your best choice is just to keep that ball in play and force the defender to dig. And obviously Morgan Eby, he's serving. That means the libero Strilchuk's off the floor. That opens up some opportunities in position 5 as the middle, not typically your defender in the back row.
Tate Olfer with the serve down the line in position 5. Everett Smith coming out of the back row there. Good, nice run, good timing, good distance from the net, but just a little bit long. Not too much wrong with that one though. So Olfer will get a chance for a second serve. Back to Vergara again, back set to Weeks. Kill on the right side.
One of the higher sets that we've seen go out to Weeks, kind of a slower pace, and that was due to a bit of a low pass that Torres had to deal with. But the Lancers block, not adjusting to the speed of that set. They were up much too early. They were almost on the floor by the time Weeks was making contact.
Tough serve by Weeks. Smith did a good job elevating there and putting a third contact into a tough spot in the back court. And that's going to give Dakota a side out. Now Smith goes back to serve. Good pass there. Run in the middle. McKim is up high. They're going to get the ball back. No, they're not. Dakota makes a ball handling error. They're balling it into the net, so that's a Massey point.
Great pass from Declan Vergara to start that rally.
Yep.
He's not someone who we've said his name a lot offensively, but he's been doing the little things well. Serving, receiving, and some defense in there as well. Good consistent effort from him.
And there he puts in a good serve that leads to a Vincent Massey point. And it'll be interesting, Adam, like you said, to see if we hear Wisdom Smith, hear his name a little bit more here in this third set as the pressure is on to produce. It's high set by Serpa. Jet Bowen with the ball over the net. And McKim gets up high and scores in the middle.
Good transition offense from the Trojans as they elect to go to the quickest option in transition, catching that Lancers defense just out of sorts as they were trying to recover from their scramble play, the rally before.
We're watching Coach Hudson there, and he's telling his guys, we got to hit this ball and find a way to hit. And there we see it. Max Anderson in the middle follows his setter and has a good attack.
Great response there, and the middle has been a shining star for the Lancers. The passing has just been the real kind of deterrent from them being able to utilize that part of their offense. If they can keep this gap tight, it allows them to run a little bit more middle, a little less aggressive serving from Massey, but McKim answers with a 31 kill of his own for his Vincent Massey side. Great run there from the Trojans.
And that once again starts with a great pass from Mitchell Strilchuk in the back row, putting them completely in system. Torres has all his options when the ball's coming to him like that. Serpa with a good pass, sets a bit behind Bowen. Just over, that ball is a back row set, but Wisdom Smith's foot is just over.
Good play by Parenteau there as he jumped kind of facing the net. He caught the blocker jumping with him for the dump. Got Wisdom Smith all the room in the world, but missing it by a fraction.
Another middle set, finds the top of Eby's block. Little roll shot there by by Everett Smith, and that's going to score. So right now, Vincent Massey seems to sort of be rolling here and choosing the way they want to score.
Yeah, the body language of the Dakota Lancers is not what it once was earlier on in this match, and this timeout by Coach Ryan Hudson I think is really important just to try and keep the minds and bodies into it for his Lancers side, as we know this Vincent Massey team, they continue to apply pressure no matter the situation, and they play their best when they have a lead. And right now, the Lancers are flirting with that territory where the Massey Trojans begin to really turn it up a notch. They begin to take a bit more risk with their serve and attack. And if they can capitalize on a few and extend this lead even further, they become a very dangerous team. So this timeout by the Lancers, it's important to just slow things down, try and reconnect, and this first point out of the timeout is a big one for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, winning never gets old. You might think, you know, they haven't lost this year. They're not as excited as another team might be, but that's just not the case. When you get to the provincial final, you are excited as much as anybody, and this team has been waiting for this night to be able to say that they are the top team. And so they are now, 2 sets up in this best of 5 with an opportunity to do so, and Dakota's going to want to put a stop to that storyline right away here. And 9-5, lots to go, but they got to make a push. Serpa with a good pass in the middle. Max Anderson misses out to position 5.
That's the look they wanted, Cam. They got
yep.
the pass they were looking for. They were able to get the ball to Anderson. Just an unfortunate, he looked a little bit jammed up there on that set and attack. Couldn't really control that ball back into the court.
McKim there with a good serve. Blocked ball. Wisdom Smith roll shot over. They go in the middle. Nice attack outside there. And you know, that started by Eby in the middle on that first attack. He went up again in transition, and that was a quick set outside, and Everett Smith made no mistake about that one and hitting his shot down the line. That time they're looking for the touch call. Not going to get it though. I didn't see one here. No, none of the officials saw one either, so this is going to be another Vincent Massey point. So they're up 12-5. Shea McKim is back there just unleashing on the ball on that serve there.
Yeah, they've got some good passes. Serpa has been pretty well receptive of that heavy serve, and finally they elect to go to Bowen on the outside. It's his turn to have a crack at it, and he scores cross court. Great break of the serve. Still the Lancers trail by 6, but a lot of set left to play. You just got to compete and stay in it with your head.
Out of the back row, ball is out. Coach Hudson with the dig, but he's not standing in the court, so that'll be a side out for Dakota. Anderson back now to serve, trying to cut into this Vincent Massey lead. Oh, and he does a good job there. Torres athletically tried to get it there, but hung onto that ball just a little bit too long and was on the net, so that's 1 to the Lancers.
You love the hustle there from your setter, always trying to get his hands on the second contact. However, maybe a little too far to travel, a little too ambitious. A help call might have kept things in order there.
Yeah. Smith with the pass, he elevates, hits the ball hard off of Leland. Parento, a little bit of a size differential there. Again, we have seen Parento get over the net and direct that ball back, but that time there, Everett Smith had his way at the net and got the kill. It'll play a good second effort by Strelchuk to keep that ball alive on the dump. Middle set. Oh, he's in the right spot again, but Grandbois gets the kill. Strelchuk, though, in the right spot there. He just double hit it because he passed it up to himself.
Again, one of those unsung hero positions is the libero, as you don't really earn points as a libero, but he's done his job really effectively, both defensively and from the serve-receive side. He gobbles up a lot of court when he's in the back row. We see another perfect pass from him with the hands. And Everett Smith may be getting a little bit too greedy with that shot, trying to bury it down the line.
He's feeling it right now. That's a guy that's playing with full confidence. He's excited to take the biggest swings that he can. Passes up outside, Owen Weeks off of the block. That was a big block by Dakota when you have Connor Gambois closing out to Wisdom Smith. So that is the matchup if you're Dakota. That's going to give you the best shot out there, but not quite able to contain that attack. Everett Smith back to serve. Little roll shot there, kind of catches Serpa by surprise. So they're going to be putting over a free ball. Dakota call on the net.
That's an unfortunate result there for Dakota, as they had Vincent Massey on the ropes. Finally getting a good slowdown on Owen Weeks on the right side, but the unforced error on the net violation, that's going to put the Trojans back with their 5-point lead, 15-10, and Smith's serve finds the belly of the net. Make that 15-11.
Lincoln Bowen back to serve now. Serve down deep to Fivergar with the pass, and they go in the middle. Morgan Eby with a big shot in the middle. Good connection there.
Huge swing there out of the middle, and just a great tempo set from Keon Torres. That ball got to that location in a hurry, and the arm swing of Eby takes it from there.
He'll go back to serve now and try and build on this 5-point lead. Serpa with a good pass once again. Back set. Wisdom Smith off the top of the block. You see that roll shot. Serpa wants that one back. That one falls into the middle there.
Perfect read there from Alex Serpa. Just the execution loses it. I think he was almost a step ahead of where he thought he was going to be on defense, and can't corral that one. Unfortunate result from a good read.
Good serve to position 5, but a good pass. Now back set to Smith. And he gets all of that one, a good attack.
That's the sequence that the Lancers have been waiting for. A great pass and a good tempo set out to Wisdom Smith. And now the Lancers, they get back into what's one of their best rotations with the trio of Anderson, Bowen, and Smith in the front row. We'll see if the substitute, Tate Olfert, can try and piece a few together.
Middle set, good dig, comes up. Full back set. Good hit by Weeks off the block and out into the stands there. That was a very intentional hit. He's playing at a high level. He's a player that we're going to see go beyond. And what's interesting about Owen Weeks is he's not just a volleyball player either. He's a basketball player and a high-level baseball player as well. So he's going to have his pick of what he wants to do.
Definitely follows that up with a missed serve, but you know, a lot of good arm swings come from multi-sport athletes, whether it be a baseball player such as Weeks, who is a pitcher. So you get a lot of good habits and develop a lot of good strength and skill from being a multi-sport athlete.
Good scramble defense on the Lancers side. Goes in the middle. Shea McKim with the attack. And they're rolling here right now. I think they're starting to feel it. They look very comfortable on this side. And if I was on the Dakota side, I think I need to get Wisdom Smith rolling here and get him feeling, get him excited and a little bit of belief here, because he's a physical guy that can change what happens. Good pass, maybe a Max Anderson here in the middle. Or that, an inside set to Jet Bowen, so good choice.
Yeah, nice mix-up from the Lancers offense there, and I think that caught Keon Torres a little bit out of sorts there, as he's been so effective blocking at the pin, whether it's one-on-one or with his middle. But that time just loses his assignment as Bowen sprints in on the inside ball. Great set selection and good offense there from Parenteau and his Lancers.
Yeah, we see the impact of a good first contact there, putting him right in system right away. Tight pass, but Torres has no problem with that one as he scores himself.
Just looks like some missed assignments back-to-back there for the Lancers, as that's a ball that really was telegraphed by Torres. You saw it coming, at least we did from our angle, but just not being picked up on the court by the Lancers block there.
There's a good pass outside. Good read in the back row, and Smith takes a big swing at it. It's off the block. Eby with another one, little bit too far. Morgan Eby saying, my fault, I pushed you out too far. And that attack goes into the antenna. So the Lancers keep hanging around here. It's only a 5-point spread, but we're hitting 20, and that's where it starts to get a lot tougher to make up those points, although we have seen it, and we've seen it here tonight. So, but the time is now. They got to step up and create a couple opportunities for themselves. But Everett Smith will have something to say about that.
Heavy swing from Everett Smith, and he's really loving the tempo offense that's come his way to the left side as he continues to just hit that high, quick attack over top of the block of the Lancers. It's just a fantastic sequence.
Athletic set there. Parenteau tried to twist and turn to get that ball to Wisdom Smith, but it was just a little bit low and inside for him, and that goes into the net. Torres with the serve. Good pass there in the middle. Gamboa not able to execute. Another Trojan point as they sit 23-15. We're approaching the end of this set here, and I think these Massey fans and the team can start to sense it. That serve goes in the net, so the door opens just a tiny little bit here.
And a lot of opportunity now for the Lancers as they get Wisdom Smith back to the front row. We'll see if he can maybe answer with a little bit of offense and even more importantly right now, defense, as they're going to need to steal quite a few points holding the serve here. But it's another good rotation for the Trojans on the other side of the court with their 3 front row options available.
Short serve handled by Strelchuk. We got a off the top of the block, so we are sitting here 24-16 Vincent Massey, so possible set and match potentially right here. Everyone's playing it pretty cool down the Vincent Massey side, but they're excited. Everett Smith to serve, goes after it, hits it into the net.
They're going to have quite a few match point opportunities in front of them. And if I'm a gambling man, Cam, I'd imagine that ball is going to go to the right side.
Yeah, let him have it. No. It does not. It goes out to Vergara, and he scores, giving the Trojans a 25-17 win in this third set, and congratulations to the Vincent Massey Trojans, who are this year's 2023 4A Provincial Champions.
Great match from the Trojans through and through. They were so consistent and so aggressive in a lot of the areas that they succeeded tonight, whether it was the attack, the block, or the serve. It was all executed very well, and that was really quarterbacked by the tandem of Keon Torres and Owen Weeks. Just a dynamic pair there, putting a lot of points on the board. But kudos goes to the Dakota Lancers. That's a tough team, and there's a reason they were undefeated in this season, is their execution and their level of play is so fantastic. But Dakota, they were right with them in that first set. They put up a huge fight beyond that, working really hard to try and compete. But ultimately, the first banner in 80 years for the Vincent Massey Trojans.
Yeah, and they've been to the Final Four a few times here, more than a few times in these past years. So that's the fourth Final Four, third in a row for Coach Marshall Jones here. So congrats to the coaching staff as well as they take home the banner this year. A very dominant team and performance, one that we haven't seen, probably an undefeated season. I don't remember when the last time that would have been. So that was, congratulations to the Vincent Massey Trojans and to the Dakota Lancers as well.
Yeah, very difficult feat. I believe it would have been the 2012 Miles Mac Buckeyes, the last undefeated team, my grade 11 year, as they took home the provincial championship unscathed, including a tournament out in Edmonton. They just couldn't lose that year.
On a hard-fought match.
We're going to turn it down to the house mic and want to thank everybody.
The MHSAA would like to thank Boston Pizza for the tremendous support of this championship and would like to recognize the following corporate partners for sponsoring these awards: the Dairy Farmers of Manitoba, Manitoba's Credit Unions, and Manitoba Hydro. We'd like to welcome our awards presenters here: Jessica Wayland, Marketing for Boston Pizza Birchwood, and Jarrett Long, MHSAA President. To begin tonight's awards, first, we'd like to recognize the Players' Choice Award, which is selected by the athletes participating in the championship. This year, they have chosen from St. Paul's High School, Connor Runiak. And now, the All-Star team. From River East, Jack Kissel. From Glen Lawn Collegiate, Nico Nadeau. From Dakota Collegiate, Max Anderson. Also from Dakota Collegiate, Wisdom Smith. From Vincent Massey Collegiate, Keon Torres. Also from Vincent Massey Collegiate, Everett Smith. And this year's most valuable player for the Boston Pizza Volleyball Championship from Vincent Massey Collegiate, Owen Weeks. Congratulations to the individual award winners. While they're working on a team photo, we'll talk about our teams. We'd like to ask the following players to please come up and accept their silver medals. Number 1, Yahya Malik. Number 2, Sean Novencido. We'll get back to Wisdom Smith in a moment. Number 9, Lincoln Bowen. Number 10, Leland Parento. Number 11, Hayden Angelopoulos.
I'm here with the MVP of the Vincent Massey Trojans. First of all, congratulations on this huge victory.
Thank you so much.
And who would you want to thank for this victory?
I want to thank all my teammates and my coach, Marshall Jones. Worked really hard for this. Since last year, we lost in the semifinal. We really wanted this really badly. We worked hard all year for it, and it was lots of fun.
And what were the key elements to this win?
We've been winning all year. Just stick to our game and have fun, really. In between timeouts, kind of just vibing to the music, having fun, with the boys. And yeah, it was worth it, so it was sick.
All right,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Number 21, Jack Antonio. Number 22, Christopher Redmond. Number 23, Tate Olfert. Number 24, Noah Benke. And number 3, Wisdom Smith. Now, the Lancers coaching and staff. Assistant coach, Rob Jansen. Assistant coach, Matt Klisch. Assistant coach, John Bartel. Assistant coach, Alex Ronnebeck. And Lancers head coach, Ryan Hudson. Now, if we could get the captains of the Lancers to come up and accept the MHSAA finalist banner. Congratulations once again to the Dakota Lancers. Now, if we could ask the following players from the Trojans to please come up and accept their championship t-shirts and medals. Number 1 for the Trojans, Jacob Yee. Number 2 is Hudson Penner. Number 4, Tyler Billick. Number 5, Magnus Carlos. The libero, number 6, Mitchell Strilchuk. Number 7, Braden Cron. Number 8, Keon Torres. Number 9, Everett Smith. Number 10, Matthew McCarthy. Number 11, Morgan Eby. Number 12, Shay McKim. Number 13, Declan Vergara. Number 14, Nathan Adam. And number 15, Owen Weeks. Now, the bench staff. We'll start with the managers. Chase Holowachuk. Manager Ronit Dixit. Manager Abu Ebubech Ukwe. Now the coaching staff. Assistant coach Ethan Singh. Assistant coach Ken Cron. Assistant coach Aaron Mitchell-Dewick. Assistant coach Tristan Maluga. And head coach Marshall Jones. If we could get the captains of the Trojans to come up and accept their championship banner.
Hi there, I'm on the court with the coach of the winning team, the the Vincent Massey Trojans. So that was an amazing game. And what were your expectations coming into this game?
We were just excited to get out here and be in the final and have a chance to win. Dakota's a really good team, well-coached team, but we had a good week of training and we were pretty excited to just play.
So what were some things that could have gone better during the game?
Not too much. We handled ourselves pretty well there at the end of the first set and served the ball better than we've served the last number of months. But the kids did a really good job staying calm in crucial situations there. And yeah, it was awesome.
So what will change in the training so that next year you can keep your title?
Well, that'll be kind of difficult. We lose quite a few grade 12s to graduation this year. But I haven't thought 1 second about next year. I'm just excited to celebrate with the kids right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Vincent Massey for winning the championship game tonight. I'm Geneva Devine, and if you would like to watch more sports or interested in joining the program, or simply have any questions, find more details at LRSD TV on our website. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great night. I'm Geneva Devine, and I'm your host.